want to say since about 1992. I graduated with my master's degree and figured I was done with education for a while and really wanted to settle down with a pet, but didn't want something expensive. I wanted something really interactive. And once I did my research on all the critters, uh, whether it was somebody in a pet store or whatever the source was, the pet rat was always presented as the most favorable. And at the time, I wasn't even remotely open to it. But I'm a very pragmatic person, so I do my research, I gather information, and it all pointed in that direction. Um, so I, I had a lot to learn. I learned about ages and health issues and whatnot, and I didn't know for a long time that they're good about using a litter box and they really shouldn't be kept by themselves. And those are beginner mistakes that I made. So I'm glad that I did. They have very, very individual personalities, much like a cat or a dog. Prejudice, um, you know, religion, race, culture, whatever. Experience and education will remedy that as long as you have people who are open to that. So we do events where we bring the rats, and we've been invited to the Science Center a number of times, libraries, bookstores, pet stores. Science Center is definitely one of my favorite places because there's a lot of curious people there. And the kids are more curious than the adults because the adults already have the prejudice. Um, but they're small, furry, we can contain them, so we can kind of gently present them to people who are a little unsure. Um, and they themselves have been able to win over a lot of people just by their natural personalities. And they're the least likely to bite of all the critters, the most intelligent, probably the most unique personalities. Um, they have a short lifespan, which a lot of people don't like when they get attached to them, but in reality, even the pandemic is showing that. You know, there's so many people who are going out and fostering or getting dogs or cats, and as they return to work and to school, um, those pets are sometimes being neglected or being given back. Um, so I think relatively to us, the short lifespan can be an advantage, and then you can get to know more and you can save more, and we view that as positive. My favorite thing about rats is that they're so open-minded and live in the moment that I find them, especially compared to humans, very easy to rehabilitate, both medically and psychologically. So even if they came from an environment of no attention or not good attention, um, maybe have some health issues, those are things that in a relatively short period of time overall are very easy to resolve. So you can get them to be friendly and comfortable easily, and they're they're responsive to medications. They do heal on their own really well with good nutrition, etc. Um, so I think the ease with which they rehab in the short period of time that you see improvement is my favorite thing.
What about how do you know your rat loves you? Or how do they show affection?
That's a cute one. Okay, you know that your rat is interested and has a good feeling about you if they come to you willingly. They often might come and sit on your shoulder while you're walking around. They might come up to you and um, just be curious and put their nose on you, try to get to know you, see if you will maybe give them a little massage or a pet. Um, they they like it if you will give them treats. Like I said, healthy foods to them are treats. Um, Sometimes they will lick you, just like a dog or cat would. Sometimes it's because they think you need cleaning. Or they can still smell the pizza on your fingers. So they voluntarily will spend time with you. Sometimes they might even take a nap with you or on you. So again, not terribly different from a dog or a cat in that respect.
That I own. Now this is Florence. She is a broken hooded with a little bit of like self pattern on her. She's pretty sweet. They found her abandoned in a shoebox at the side of the road. She had the sore on her tail, but it's since healed up really nicely. And she's living her best life. And then down here, that's just some other food. I need to give them some veggies, but this is Milan. Kind of sticking with the Italy cities, and she is a kind of mostly black rat with some pattern on her, and she was surrendered with a bunch of our other siblings that they were all adopted, and I kept her because she was the sweetest. So yeah.
So a second reason that I'm really advocating for them, and I like to use them as an example for kids, excuse me, I have an itch, is they eat the diet that ideally humans eat. So based in whole grains, fruits and vegetables. They're omnivorous, so they can eat dairy and meat if it's available to them, but they don't have to have it. They love their fruits and veggies. The more natural the food is and the less processed, the more they like it. They have individual tastes, just like we do, and their tastes can change over time, like ours do as well. And so they're a great example for children, and they're so communal that they try really hard to get along. But you have to be careful who you force to be in a small space together, because sometimes they really need to learn about each other and communicate and express boundaries and comfort levels and work with each other. But they're for the group in general, so they do very well in groups.